Do you have a Chevy Silverado PO106 code and you're wondering what should you do about it? Well, I'm going to tell you, in this particular situation on my Silverado, this is a 2002 2500 HD with a 6-liter, and this particular problem happens to many vehicles throughout the chain, different brands, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what the condition was that set this code for the MAP sensor going out of range. And I'm going to show you what I got so far, and I'm going to explain why I'm changing the sensor. Well, you're looking underneath your hood, and this is a 6-liter, but it applies to many vehicles on the GM chain. And you got to take this plate off. And it has 3 10mm bolts. And if we just zoom in here a little bit, I'll show you where the MAP sensor goes. You can see that hole right there. You see them two kind of horseshoe clips sticking up? That holds it in. And off to the side there you can see the gray and white connector. And all I'm going to do is just clean out that hole with some Q-tips, and I'm going to apply a light little film of silicone around the inside of that bore, and then I'm going to put the sensor back in, the new one. But I want to show you exactly how to get this out, because it's not so easy to get out. And I'll show you the tool that I use, and it makes it so much easier. But take a good look at them clips there. Now you could see that they are rounded on the top and all the way down to the bottom. So as you pull this sensor up, it will disengage. But you have to have a tool for that. So let's go in the shop. I'm going to show you the sensor. I'm going to explain to you why I'm changing it. Well, the first thing I'd like to cover first is what was the drivability problem that set this code, PO106. And the code references that the sensor is out of range. And what do you do at that point? Well, if you know the maintenance on your vehicle, like I do mine, throttle body is nice and clean, it's very well maintained, and it never set a hard code, which means that it was always a pending code. So if I erased the code, it would come back very infrequently. This is not the type of code that would set bang right away as soon as you erased it. And what was the drivability problem? Well, you'd be driving around 30 miles an hour, and it'd be fine, and then you'd go to step on the gas and it almost felt like there was nothing there. And then when you pulled up to a set of lights and you're stopped, well, it's revving too high, and you know, you try to get home, and the most you can do is maybe 30-40 miles an hour tops, and that was it. You come home, you shut the truck off, start it up, maybe half an hour later, everything is fine, like you'd never know there was anything wrong with the vehicle. So it was an intermittent problem, and there's lots of ways that you can diagnose the particular sensor. You can take it out, you can test it yourself, you can look at scan data, you can do all kinds of stuff. But that only applies when you're actually having the fault. And whenever I would look at the scan data, everything was fine. Every once in a while, this would hiccup and cause this drivability problem. So I'm going to show you the sensor. I'm going to show you why I'm changing it. And this particular vehicle has 300K on the odometer. I have never changed an electrical sensor on this vehicle yet. And this is the first one. And I'm changing it for one reason and one reason only. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is what the sensor looks like. And it's just got a 3-pin connector in the back. And I'm going to show you this side right here. And then I'm going to zoom in on it so you could take a real good look. Now, can you see that right there, how much carbon deposits are on that sensor? And it's my belief that that sensor is just sucking up material into the sensor itself, and every once in a while, depending on the temperature, because today was really cold in the morning, and that's when the fault happened. And as it gets warmed up during the day and it gets hot, well, the sensor doesn't act up, and it's very infrequent. So now I'm going to show you how to take that sensor out. Now apparently you can clean these, but I am not going to bother cleaning it. I'm just going to put a brand new one in and be done with it, because I got no time to be fooling around with a sensor that's got 300K on it and hopefully trying to clean it out. Well, I'm not going that route. So I'm going to show you exactly how you take this thing out, and it's not as easy as what some people show on YouTube videos if it's all gummed up like that. Well, you can see in the background there I've got that trim tool, and you really have to get underneath here with the trim tool and just pry up to get it to come up, because you're not going to get that up. There's so much force on the bottom here because it's all got carbon deposits on it, and the trim tool like this does a terrific job of just prying it up. Now you got the two little tabs on the side like I showed before, and as you pry up they will move off to the side. Well, I hope this video helps somebody out there that's having the drivability problems like I experienced, very intermittent, not a hard code, and you know, eventually you have to actually make a decision what you're going to do and what's most logical. And to me, yeah, this was pretty gummed up, something fierce. And if you're looking online and you want to buy this particular part, well, there's two variations that you will see for AC Delco. One is an aftermarket AC Delco part, and one is a professional part. In my opinion, what I like to do is I like to buy the original equipment part. And if we take a look there, I'm not too sure if it's going to show up very good, but it says right there, made in the USA. That's the one I go for. And I think it's like 80 bucks for me to replace this part. I think it's worth $80 for me to do it, because I don't have the technology or the whereabouts to actually fiddle around in the middle of the winter, -20, and start trying to test all kinds of systems to see if this could be a result of another system causing this fault. But when I looked at this and I took a little closer look that I could show on the camera, man, this is plugged up inside like you wouldn't believe. So I think it's logical. If it doesn't resolve the problem, I will put another video out and say exactly anything different. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again and let's have some more fun. Cheers.